All right, we're diving into what our source material says is a major development in the federal election interference case against Donald Trump. It looks like Special Counsel Jack Smith has dropped some new evidence that's sending some serious shockwaves through the whole situation.
So, what's all the fuss about? Well, the big question we're digging into today, based on what we're seeing, is this. Why is Trump's legal team reportedly in full panic mode? Let's break it down.
First up, let's talk about this so-called irrefutable new evidence. According to our source, this reported panic is a direct result of new material from the special counsel, and some analysts are already calling it a potential game changer.
So here's the heart of it. A big part of the defense strategy has apparently been to argue that any connections were just circumstantial, not a smoking gun. But this new evidence, well, it allegedly draws a straight line, suggesting direct involvement in the efforts to overturn the 2020 election.
So, what are we talking about exactly?
We're looking at things like authenticated emails flying back and forth, internal memos, and even detailed plans for challenging state election results. But the real kicker here, according to the source, is that these communications allegedly show clear intent. And for any prosecution, proving intent, that's absolutely crucial.
Okay, part 2. A legal team scrambling. This new evidence didn't just quietly appear. Nope. It reportedly sent the entire legal team into a frenzy.
In fact, the source claims an emergency meeting was called almost immediately. This really suggests the defense was caught completely off guard, totally blindsided by evidence they just did not see coming.
And check out this quote, which our source attributes to Politico. It really says it all. "The evidence dropped overnight changes everything. We're scrambling to respond." Now, let me tell you, in the legal world, scrambling is a word you never want to hear about your own defense team. It signals a massive, unexpected problem with your strategy.
All right, Section 3. This gets to the why. Why all the panic? Well, this new evidence is said to strike right at the heart of a very classic and very powerful legal defense.
And that defense is plausible deniability. For anyone who needs a quick refresher, think of it as the ultimate "I didn't know" defense. It lets a leader say, "Hey, I wasn't directly involved. I had no idea." Because there's no hard proof, no paper trail to connect them directly. It's a really strong shield in an investigation.
But that shield might be cracking. Conservative legal commentator Andrew McCarthy reportedly said, if these documents hold up, it will be nearly impossible to claim plausible deniability. And the fact that this analysis is coming from a conservative voice, well, that suggests this concern is really starting to cross political lines.
Next up, let's talk about the base. Because the alleged fallout isn't just staying in the courtroom. It's reportedly starting to spill over into the political arena, too.
Our source is pointing to a few signs here. Recent polls are apparently showing some new doubts creeping in among some Republican voters. And if you look at social media, the tone is reportedly changing, with some supporters now openly wondering if the legal team is really up for this fight. It's a subtle, but maybe significant shift from unwavering loyalty to public worry. So let's wrap this up by looking ahead. With all of these moving parts, what happens next? Here are the key things to keep an eye on as this whole story develops.
There are really 4 big things to watch. First, the official legal response. How is the defense team going to change its strategy in court? Second, you have to wonder about more leaks. When things get chaotic, information tends to find its way out. Third, public opinion. Do those cracks in the base get wider, or does the support rally? And finally, the big one. Watch Jack Smith's next move. The source suggests he might have even more evidence waiting in the wings.
This really gets to why this case is so important to so many people. It feels like we're at a fork in the road. The outcome could set one of 2 very different, very powerful precedents. A conviction would send a clear message that nobody, not even a president, is above the law. But an acquittal, well, that could be interpreted by some as a green light, suggesting that presidents are pretty much immune from consequences for these kinds of actions.
So it all leaves us with this one huge question. Are we watching a new standard for presidential accountability get set right here in real time? According to our source material, the answer to that question is going to have some major, lasting implications for the country. We will definitely be watching.